All right. Hi, everybody. I'm KC Kimber. I'm here with Chris Conrad. Some of you might know who I am. Hopefully, most of you don't. That'd be a good thing. But Chris Conrad here, you all should know who he is. He's one of like maybe 5 experts in the whole state of California that the courts actually recognize as an expert on cannabis. And he does like 80% of the cases where an expert witness is needed. So he really is the expert. Well, I've been talking with him and some other people about Prop 19 because I talked with Dennis about it, and Dennis Peron, and I found out some of the things that were said in the video were in error. And I love weed more than anything. It's saved my life at one point, and I want to see it legalized so everybody can have access. During the video with Dennis, he actually claimed that there'd be new felonies with Prop 19, and this is a big thing that we need to clear up.
Yeah, major.
And like, because I am really sorry, because this is bad for the whole community that was said, because it may have misinformed people.
It may have. It was absolutely wrong.
Yeah.
There are no new felonies in it. In fact, it gets rid of 1 felony and it gets rid of 3 misdemeanors. And the only thing it does is toughen 1 penalty, which is for diversion to people between the ages of 18 and 21. Under 21.
And that's the person that's giving it to the 18, 19, or 20-year-old. That's important that people know this. It's like the parts about the 18 to 14-year-olds and 14 and under are actually what's exactly on the books now.
It's been on the books for 30 plus years already, those same statutes. And with the initiative, we invite the legislature to reduce those penalties. Also, the additional possible jail time for furnishing to someone who's between 18 and 20, if you're over 21, that's not mandatory.
Right.
The judge can just, let you walk. He can give you community service. He can give you a couple of months. I mean, it's really based upon, like, if you're out there getting 18 to 20-year-olds to sell marijuana for you somewhere, they're probably going to give you a more serious penalty than if you are pass a joint to someone. And also, you have to be knowingly doing
Right.
that. So if you just pass a joint to somebody you don't know they're between 18 and 20, that would not be enough to trigger that offense.
Nice, because I think that's fair. He has a site where he do rumor control and fact control on Prop 19. And if you go there, I'll have this listed. It's basically my rebuttal to Dennis's video, and it'll help you.
So some other key ones that we want to hit, though, or have we
well,
the major ones?
Well, he says that Prop 19 will guarantee a black market, and I think this is obviously going to put the biggest dent possible in the black market.
Yeah, right. If you create a white market, they will come.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's simple. That's one of the key things is as I've said in the video with Dennis, and also when I was on the air on the show Time for Hemp with Casper Leach, is that I'd vote yes if there were specific languages in the arguments that said it was protected, and that made it there on both the yes argument and the argument against. And the argument for, they said it protects patients' rights, clear as day. And in the argument against, they said it makes no effect on medical marijuana laws whatsoever. And so that right there, it means we're fine. And furthermore, I really went in depth to this because there's these lawyers going out there saying that it will affect it. And
in the purposes of Prop 19, we have sections 6, 7, and 8 that all protect medical marijuana. And so the reason that people look at them and they try to see Prop 215, arrest before 20, and they don't see it in there is because now that has been codified into statutory law, HS 11362.5, 11362.7 through 9. And if you look at purposes 7 and 8, you'll see right there in the law that it says that. Subsequently, we've got the fact that it doesn't say anything about medical marijuana throughout the entire thing, and the courts have treated medical marijuana as a separate issue from the rest of the marijuana laws. And I think another thing that's worth mentioning is that the Riverside County attorney has come to the position that it doesn't change it. Dennis Peron's own attorney, David Nick, has come to the position. That's a real difference.
Exactly. So anyways, let's get into the meat and potatoes of some of the flaws that were made into the video I did with Dennis Peron. Like, one of the things that he says is that he said that the community should be against it initially with Prop 19. And I honestly think that we need to get behind this wholeheartedly. and I mean community by every person in the state of California.
People have to understand there's not really a big division in the movement on this right now. There's a few people who are being pretty loud, but the vast majority of patients and adults in the state, most of the medical marijuana community is actually behind it. The leaders of the reform movement are behind it,
Totally.
and we've got this much bigger grouping behind us than we've ever had before.
I definitely, the thing is some of the things that Dennis said. He said if Prop 19 passes, because there's some perceived errors in it, he says it will be stuck with this.
Section 5 of Prop 19 has a section called amendments, and that allows the legislation to take 3 distinct kinds of action, which is that they can reduce the penalties and make the access more ready. They can create a statewide regulated system to, rather than leaving all the counties and cities having to figure this out on their own. And the third thing is to allow industrial hemp back to California.
Right.
And so the legislature actually can make amendments to it, but only ones that make it better, not worse.
Dennis was afraid of for-profit businesses. I actually realized that having for-profit business models, everybody thinks, ooh, profit, big monsters. They actually enable people to compete better, and they mean that there's more innovation in products and marketplaces.
Mentioned I've done hundreds of court cases involving medical marijuana, and a lot of those scores of them have involved the whole issue about the sales of medical marijuana through dispensaries. And we have prosecutors all over the state saying that if you're private, if you have a business model that says it's retail, that you're automatically illegal. In fact, Steve Cooley, the DA from LA, who's running for Attorney General now,
He's a bad dude.
The very dangerous person who believes that SB 420 does not even protect you
Vote
from
for
the sales.
Kamala Harris, people.
And in that, but the point though is that, whereas in court right now we're fighting about that, with this initiative, it'll be possible for cities to just go ahead and clarify that and say, yes, it's okay to have a retail model. You can have a privately run business. And that's going to open up the whole idea of clubs and smoking lounges and things like that, which patients don't really have access to in a lot of the state right now.
No.
So the more we expand the business options, whether it be cannabis tourism, whether it be nursery projects, whether it be storefront operations.
Jobs.
The whole thing adds up to one thing.
With jobs, yeah.
We want to see the little mom and pop people get their roots in, organize at the local level, and get city ordinances to protect their businesses and allow them to flourish in the way that really suits the local community all over California.
And see, and that's the thing is we are, as people, we are the state of California, and the problem is a lot of people don't realize is you can go to your city council, and by law they have to hear what you say, but anyways. And the point is that's the beauty of Prop 19 is it allows us to set it up so that we can just go in there, and if your city wants to have weed, you can, and if not, you can still have your plant. Mm-hmm. You can still have your ounce, and if you really have a need that requires more, such as me, like I might need 100 square feet for my garden, I can go see my doctor still.
All right, exactly, and that's what's protected specifically in the purposes 7 and 8. Is that right there?
Yeah.
Easy, safe access to medical marijuana throughout the state of California,
and it's recreational too, and that's the beauty of it. Is